All right, I believe we are live. Wonderful. Hello,
Awesome.
everyone, and welcome back to our channel. And thank you so much for joining us today on World Suicide Prevention Day. My name is Gabby. I am your host. We are going live several times this week for suicide prevention. And today we are talking with one of our wonderful Boys Town National Hotline counselors, Rachel. How are you doing, Rachel?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So today we're going to hear a little bit more about Rachel and her role within the Boys Town National Hotline and also how the National Hotline in Your Life, Your Voice can help you or maybe your child or family member during Suicide Prevention Week. So one of the best things you can do is spread the word. Make sure you like this video and go ahead and share it to help get the word of the hotline into the hands of as many people as possible. All right, Rachel. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and your role at Boys Town.
I was a family teacher for 6 years and have been here with the company for 15 altogether. I've been a crisis counselor for 9 years.
Mhm.
And yeah, have just loved my role at the hotline as a crisis counselor.
Yes, awesome. It's always fun to hear about several of our employees who have gone through several different roles. If you are watching us live, we went live during Boys Town Donor Week and talked with Yvonne Wilson. And I think it's definitely a common theme that people at Boys Town tend to stay at Boys Town, whether it's in a youth care role, at the hotline, maybe I'm in marketing. And I feel like it's a strong testament to just how much people love working at Boys Town. So it's fun to
Mhm.
hear more about your background.
Mhm. Awesome.
So, with your work at the hotline specifically, Rachel, what are some of the reasons that children, teens, and young adults reach out to the hotline?
Some of the main reasons why young adults and even adults reach out to the hotline are just their day to day life. A lot of times they're struggling with anxiety, depression, relationship conflicts, and even just world situations that they are needing support for. And most of the time, it's not just one issue that they're reaching out for. A lot of times, say somebody, a texter, is struggling with a relationship that's also triggering their depression, or someone on the call is struggling with parenting advice that's also making them struggle with anxiety. And so it's normally not just one facet, it's normally multiple reasons why someone reaches out to us.
Definitely. And we went live yesterday with Oscar Gonzalez, who is the director of the Boys Town National Hotline. And, the hotline's been around for 35 years nearly. And so much of the issues that kids are facing today are totally multi-layered, just like Rachel said. So, sometimes we've got kids who maybe are experiencing anxiety and then they get on their phone and start scrolling through social media or TikTok and
Mm-hmm.
are really seeing things that can escalate it more, or maybe they're having friendship issues and then pull up their phone and see photos of those friends and maybe they're excluded. So definitely I think over the last 35 years it has really ramped up, especially for
Yep.
the need of having something like the Boys Town Hotline.
Mm-hmm.
So then with some of those reasons you've mentioned, do you see some reasons more than others? Is it seasonal? Does it kind of spike at certain times of the year?
Yeah, so across the board, anxiety and depression are anxiety and suicide ideation and depression. Those are the top reasons why youth are reaching out. But we do see an influx when school starts, or if there's celebrities that have taken their lives, or even on some of like the ads or TV shows, if our number gets pulled up there advertising, we see an influx of calls. And I do hope that it's because people see the need to
Yeah.
communicate what they're feeling and don't want to be anchored to that hardship alone. And so, yeah, we do see an influx with that. I also think with youth, there's influxes too with just like peer relationships during the school year and stuff like that as well.
Definitely. So, Suicide Prevention Week kind of comes at an opportunistic time because kids are
Mhm.
just now getting back into school and getting into the
Mhm.
swing of things. So, between that and those feelings surrounding back to school, it's perfect that we're going live this week and are trying to spread the word to as many as people as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then what interested you, Rachel, in becoming a hotline counselor?
So I love people. It's just part of my makeup. I really enjoy connecting with people and caring for people. And so I think the reason why I love doing what I do is because we are able to love people through their storm, be there through their storm, but also equip them on how to healthily cope with the struggles that they're going through. And so it's not just this quick band-aid, but we pray that it ripples into further action to support their life, which then continues to breed health in the community. And so the stronger we are with our callers and the more we equip them, the better the community thrives as well. And so that's why I love what I do, is it's kind of a outsourcing of health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And there are so many different ways that our hotline counselors help kids in young adults and parents get help. So you can see I have it as an overlay on this video, but we have a phone number that's available 24/7 that anyone can call. And then we also have a texting line. So if you maybe aren't ready to quite make that phone call or just prefer texting, there's also that option.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to anxiety quickly because we did have this slide to show on 4
Mm-hmm.
ways to get help. If you wanted to mention that, I know I just talked about the first two, but would
Yeah.
you talk about the email and the app?
So yeah, there's so many great resources on the Your Life, Your Voice app. They have different coping mechanisms. They have avatars on there for fun. They have a ton of different resources for parents and youth. It's not just for youth. So I would recommend parents downloading the app and also helping their children download the app as well. And then emailing too, like if there's parenting advice, or if you aren't ready to call, like you said, or say it's late in the night, we're open 24 hours, but if you don't want to wake up the house, shoot us an email and we would be more than happy to reach out. And then your children can also email and reach out if that's the easiest way for them to get support. And so what's beautiful about what we do is there's so many avenues to get care and help for today. And so I love that there's so many possibilities that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we called this live a day in the life of a crisis counselor. So Rachel, we want to know, what does a typical shift look like for you?
Okay, so normally I'm on the phone, so I take a lot of calls, or I'm texting with clients. And then in between those times, also I work on Your Life, Your Voice articles. There's trainings to get done, protocols and procedures to work on, and then emails as well to answer. And so we stay pretty busy, just making sure that we're caring for all the people that are reaching out in the different facets of, technology.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And how does Boys Town extensive training support you in your role when you're working?
Okay, so I love Boys Town's trainings. So I am a perfectionist. I want to make sure that I am linking my ship to a solid foundation, and so I really enjoy the trainings that we do. Boys Town is elite in how they train us and also with how they follow up. We have consultations with our supervisors, not just to go through the trainings that we have, but also to say, like, what does this look like carrying it out? I also appreciate that when I have a call, so even though I've been here 9 years, every call is different, every outcome looks a little different, every family looks a little different. And so as we're talking, I love that I can reach out to a supervisor and say, hey, this is how I perceived this. Give me your thoughts on this. And then they further help me with the gray matter of difficult calls. And so it's in the moment training, but it's also, we have our, normal trainings as well. And so training at Boys Town is such a gift.
Yes, wonderful. And we are oftentimes hiring for crisis counselors and are looking for more people to, fill the need to help our callers and help them immediately. So if you are watching live and are interested in applying to become a counselor, I'll go ahead and link our website below, but it's jobs.boystown.org. And we would love to have you, join
Hmm.
or just read more about the role if you're interested. Okay, we just have a few more questions here for Rachel. So if you are watching live, please make sure you like this video and share it so we can get it in front of as many people as possible on World Suicide Prevention Day. Rachel, excuse me, do you have a standout moment or story you can share about working at the hotline?
Yeah, so this actually happened 2 weeks ago. So I had a caller that was calling that was struggling to breathe when she first called. And so we were able to get her to lay down and took some deep breaths. And as we did that, I was breathing with her on the phone, and she got control over her breathing. And we were able to talk about her job and how it has really been stressing her out. And it was a recent she's had a recent promotion, and it was overwhelming her. So through that conversation, we were able to talk about how she also had a medication adjustment appointment for her anxiety because she had been feeling this way at her job. So we were able to get her dressed and ready to go for her appointment and get her off to her appointment with a calm demeanor, safe for her to drive her vehicle. And so that was one of the calls. And then we had an additional call where a man called. He was struggling with anxiety, and it came down to he had a friend with him in his home who was struggling with suicidal thoughts. And we got him calmed down enough to figure out how to resolve the situation with his friend and how to get her the help she needs. And so I love those examples of two calls that happened one after the other. And they both presented very similar in the beginning, but the resolutions and the best next steps looked completely different for both of those callers. And so that's just a little capsule into like what we do every day and how we try to actively listen and pour out the best coping skills and the best wisdoms to help our callers.
Yeah, and that's amazing because, with the Boys Town National Hotline, there's no barrier to getting
Mm-hmm.
the help you need right when you need it. Whereas, sometimes, other times it's hard to, maybe you can get an appointment, but it's a week away and you're feeling those feelings in that moment. So being able to call the hotline and reach out for free and have someone on the other line like Rachel to sit with you and breathe with you and kind of bring it down, it's so incredible. So
It is such a gift, honestly, to be able to sit in the storm with someone. Like in a counseling office,
Mhm.
you're out of your storm, right? Like for most of it, you're able to be in any storm with anybody at any time. And that is something that is so irreplaceable with what we do. And so I love that about what we do.
Mhm. And that kind of leads me right into my next question is what is important for people watching to know about the Boys Town Hotline?
So yeah, I honestly, miracles happen here every day. I think that's the biggest thing that I say that all the time to my friends, to my family. There has not been a shift in 9 years that I have worked that either my crisis counselors, my friends, or myself have tried to assist someone in saving their lives. And it's such a gift to be able to weather those storms with people. And honestly, the generational effects of what the hotline is doing, I truly believe it's saving grandfathers and grandmothers and moms and dads and aunts and uncles and kids to where their lineages, Lord willing, will continue to be healthy and thriving. And so the work we do, we don't even know how many lives it's going to touch, but it has a huge ripple effect. And so, yeah, I just couldn't speak higher about what we do at the hotline.
Yeah, and it does have that effect because we've gotten testimonials sent in where we had a mom write in and say, oh, my teenage child, they just called the hotline a couple days ago, and I maybe overheard it, or they told them about it, and she said, oh my goodness, I used to call them when I was a kid.
Yep. Yep. Isn't that beautiful? And who knows? And then it just continues. Like, man, it's just, yeah, the ripple effect we will know one day. But yeah, it's just amazing to think about.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. So our last question here is, if you could share one important piece of information or advice during World Suicide Prevention Week, what would you share?
Don't isolate. Don't isolate. When you isolate, you are choosing to hold yourself to the storm rather than to hold yourself to strong anchors. And so I would really, really encourage you to reach out to empathetic, loving, equipped people that want to carry that burden with you. Because then you have a soldier standing next to you wanting to fight this battle with you. And so the more we can get you support, the healthier it is. And so please do not isolate. And here are a couple of things on your life, your voice. It can really help when you're struggling with, yeah, just not feeling great. So we would really, really like you to reach out so we can help you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, do reach out, and we have it right here on this slide for you to, screenshot or take a picture of if you're watching on the computer, and share with a friend. I know I've said it a few times, but if there's one thing you can do today on World Suicide Prevention Day is to share this and get the hotline into the hands of someone who might need it more than you know. Rachel, thank you so much for talking with us today. It was really fun to learn more about yourself and your role at Boys Town, saving lives every day.
It was great talking to you too. Thank you so much. We will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all so much. We will be live one more time this week to share tips and tools for tough situations. So that will be coming up this Thursday. And tune in. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.